My name is Manoj, and this is my book snap project. My book's name is The Tomorrow Code by Brian Falconer. Let's get started with the summary. So, the two main characters in my book are Teen and Rebecca. They were talking about time traveling and stuff at the start of the book. They were just curious and wanted to have fun, and they were just talking about that stuff. But they didn't know that this could destroy the whole world. Then, someday, when Rebecca was at Teen's house, Teen's brother, Harley, now his nickname is Fat Boy, asked Rebecca to go to the movies. Teen was very mad, but he didn't know why. Then, the next day, when Rebecca came back from the movies, someone was at her house. The guy gave a paper to her and he went away. So, Rebecca's mom checked the paper and she didn't care, so she put it in her drawer. But when Rebecca checked it, it was about unpaid bills and stuff like that. And it said that she would have to sell the house. But then they had an idea. They were going to use gamma rays from space and decode them. They read that in an article that NASA is trying to use gamma rays to find voice connections from space, but they are gonna use it to decode it. So they went to Rebecca's dad's old university where he used to be a professor before he died, and over there, one of Rebecca's dad's friends, they asked him about the gamma rays and stuff, and they said that they're gonna use it for artistic purposes, but they were actually gonna decode it. So he gave it to them. It was just a code of ones and zeros. But then Rebecca made a computer program that finds out patterns in the code. The next day, while the computer was trying to find patterns, Rebecca went into a protest for whales. But the police caught her and she got arrested. Now that she got arrested because she hit a rock at the Japanese prime minister, because in Japan the prime minister was killing whales, so the protest was all about saving whales. So she hit a rock at the prime minister, but and so that's why she got arrested, but she came out safely. Then the next day it found a code. The computer found a code, and so that Kane had an idea of, because at first they tried using different type of codes like beta 64 and other computer codes, but that didn't work. So they tried using Morse code, and thankfully that worked. So they checked all the code, used Morse code to crack it, and they found out that some of the code was Powerball numbers. And and then they checked the newspaper, and it was right. These were last week's Powerball numbers. So the codes kept coming, and they kept checking them. And then the next week they went to the Powerball and checked they checked the lottery numbers, and it was correct. So now they're rich. So that they found out that somebody sent a code from the future to them, and then in the code there's also some other words that said something about Professor Vicky Green and buying a submarine and the Shamira project. They didn't know what that was, but they thought that with the Powerball money they should buy a submarine, and the submarine costed $2 million, and that would mean that they only had $4 million left for Rebecca's to buy her a new house and everything. So, but they still bought it, and they used the submarine to find Vicky Green's island where she works, and over there they asked her that about the Chimera project and stuff, because in the code there's also something that said SOS, which if you don't know what that means, that's like emergency and stuff, and that, and if that comes from the future, that means that they could die in the future. So what they did is that they asked her about the Chimera project and stuff, and she said nothing. She was like, oh no, I don't know anything about that type of stuff. So they were still suspicious, because they knew if these codes came from the future, those people knew something. So what they did is they went with the submarine. They went to her island secretly at night and tried to find some papers about the Chimera project, and they did, but they couldn't like read the whole thing because by the time the police caught them, and when they got to the police station, the police started asking them something about hostages and stuff, and they got super duper scared. They didn't know what to do. But then the commissioner came and he started talking to them. And the commissioner said that, the commissioner started talking about hostages and stuff too. But Tane and Rebecca, they both got scared. So they told everything about the Chimera project and all the future codes and stuff. They told all of that to the commissioner, and the commissioner actually believed them because he was doing some stuff, and he found out that there's a disease that is making humans into some white ghosts type of stuff, and it was super scary. And then they were trying to research on that. So they took Tane and Rebecca to a lab, and they took a monkey, right? And Tane and Rebecca, they both loved that monkey, but they still tried killing it, and Rebecca got super sad, but it was okay. So they killed her. They killed them. They put a disease into the monkey, and the monkey started fluffing out, and it became white and stuff like that. And they got super scared, and they're like that because a monkey is like super duper close to humans genetics and stuff, right? And so they got super duper scared. So right after that, a white creature started coming through the door, and they were like, oh, that thing could kill them. So they ran up, and then they had no other choice, so they had to jump into a pool. When they went into the pool, they found out that those monsters, when they come inside water, they die. So what they did is they got salt water and water, and they got all of that stuff, and they started using water to kill all of those like nasty animals. But while they were killing those animals, Tane's brother died, and that was very unfortunate for them. Tane got super sad, but Rebecca handled him, and they tried killing all the animals, but they only killed a little bit. And Tane and Rebecca, what they did is they knew that this would never stop, so they lived in the submarine forever. And after that, they were gonna try to fix the world after everything wears out. So at the end of the book, they're living in submarine right now, and in the second book, whatever happens, I'll try making a summary on that. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.